Zach, thanks. Glad to be back. It was fun last time, so definitely want to do another one with you or more. So let's rock this thing.
Yeah, it'll be even more fun now because we did one. Now we're in the groove. Now we're ready to go. This
Hopefully,
is gonna be fun.
hopefully, I didn't use all my luck on the last one.
Oh, I don't think so. Not at all. It was really cool to see like you put the podcast on your YouTube channel, and then I saw people. I don't think there weren't any comments, but I saw the views, and then it's cool to connect on multiple platforms. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I put it. I shot it out everywhere. Since you said you weren't on social media, it went everywhere. So it's pretty interesting. Good feedback. So enjoyed it. I think you and I kind of hit it off. So hopefully we can do that again on the. I think we're defense this time, right?
Let's go defense,
Def-
defense.
Defense. And I got my uh, pirate hat on instead of the beast. Yeah. So where do you want to start?
I
Should
just
I?
want to start with first of all the logo. How did you come up with that for your defense?
It was really cool. I guess it was my Arvada Youth Football League's logo in 2006, and at the time I was looking for a pirate. And I guess there was a school in New England, I think it might have been Delaware, that had a frat, had this sort of logo that was close to it. So I took that, gave it to put some ideas around it, gave it to my logo guy, and said, "Can you come up with something that's similar, but different, of course?" And we're going to be the pirates. And can you make these swords kind of go around so they look like horns? and,
I like it. It looks really good.
and that's how I came up with it. So he came up with it, and so we were the Arvada Pirates. We were red, and we steal wins with steel, and we steal them. So
Ooh, I do steel wins. I
we
like that
steal
one.
wins
That's
with
good.
steel. Yeah, yeah. So that was us on the defensive side, and the logo there. So we were running the Beast too, and the Pirate defense, and I had been running something similar in '94, and then in 2006 and seven, this is where this defense started evolving. The Pirate 6-2 multi-8 defense. If everybody's wondering what it's called, but yeah.
Mhm. I think it's really good. I've read a good amount of it. And Coach, how did you start with it? Like, where did you start, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I'm a defensive guy. I mean, I played defense mainly in high school and middle school as an inside linebacker, defensive end, outside linebacker. So I, I've written so many offensive books. I mean, a lot of people know me for the Beast and Power Beast offense, but I'm actually a defensive minded guy. It's probably why I like the Beast because it's so contrarian and ball control. But yeah, I wrote the defensive book first, and it came out of in high school. I ran a 5-2 monster and a 5-3 high school and middle school. We ran that. And Coach Hatfield, my coach at the time, and Coach Schrader, who actually coached Drew Brees in high school, was our defensive guys. And so they were into moving a lot of people around and doing that kind of stuff, which was interesting. So even though we might be in a 5-2 monster, there were a lot of shifts that were happening. And so what I found in 2006 and 7 and 8 is that if I was sticking in the 6-2 tight tackle, which I eventually was running uh, in 94 from the 5-2, because that just, having those kids backed up didn't make sense. So we went into a 6-2
Right.
tight. So I read Caesar's book, and he was in a wide tackle. I was using tight tackle, and I was like, huh, you could easily move from wide tackle to tight tackle really quick with just moving the tackles and the linebackers, and it looks like two different defenses. And I'm not always giving up the B or the C gap. It hides kind of my bubble hole there. So I started with that, and then I just started reading. I've read everybody. I've got a whole list here, but there's a lot of influences, and then I just started looking at other defenses that could be added to the 6-2 tight tackle and wide tackle, and what would work for us for other Gap 8 works good. The split 60 works good. The 4-4 looks good in the 6-2. And eventually, I forgot where I read it, but I think it's Drew Tallman's book on Directory of Defenses that talks about the 6-2 being the ABC defense.
Huh? The ABC defense. What's that all about?
Well, because you can move the linebackers in A, B, or C, the linemen move to the opposite hole, and it's real easy to
Ah, okay,
ABC
okay,
down in a 6-2. If the
that makes sense.
linebackers and the defensive tackles move with each other, you could say, like I could say BC, the left linebacker would be in B, the right linebacker would be in C, so you could actually manipulate the line doing that. And so I started doing that really early, kind of a multi 6-2 in Denver, and that worked out great because we could dump into a 4-4 and kind of a pass thing. We could go into the
Mhm.
gap 8, which is a 6-2 max, or we could do the split 6. So it was working out great. A guy, it's funny, he was running Caesar single wing like a hardcore, and we were moving in and out of the 6-2 multi quite a bit. And we beat him, and we went to a game to scout another team, and he was there with his staff, and we were kind of eavesdropping what he was saying. He goes, "Damn, Parker's running this backyard defense, just
Backyard defense.
backyard
Oh, come
defense,"
on.
and it was like I loved it. I loved it because he did not know what we were doing because we were in as a younger coach, I was definitely blitz happy and doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh, sure.
As I've gotten older, I'm more conservative. But at the time, we were going crazy with that defense, and I had two linebackers that knew how to blitz, which really helps. So yeah, so we started doing that, and then eventually, I don't know how I picked up. I think because I'm reading so many older football books on the single wing and double wing and split T and T that I found the 70 umbrella and diamond defense.
Oh shoot. I have seen the 70 diamond run at the high school level on YouTube.
Yeah,
That's a wild thing to watch.
I actually love it. And a lot of people are like, "You're crazy." We just won a Super Bowl 3 seasons ago at 12U against a spread team running a 70 and a 6-3 hybrid. Now we're moving
I like
people.
that now.
Well, those were our bases. We're moving people around. I mean, we're still moving, but the bases were a 70 and a 6-3 hybrid. And it worked out great because there was so much pressure on the quarterback, he couldn't get the throws off. They had to actually run a trick play, which they were actually in a legal formation that they got off. But that's okay. We still
Oh,
beat.
that stinks. They were in a
Yeah,
legal
yeah.
formation. How'd they do that? What was that like?
Well, they ran a tackle eligible play, and they had too many guys in the backfield, and or they had him covered. I forget which it was, and the refs missed it. And they're doing a junior game and not a high school. There's only three of them, so it's not like they can catch everything. But
Right.
we were good with it. But I've at 10U and below, I think I've won two Super Bowls running 70 as my base.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm
It's
talking about. That
it's
is aggressive as heck.
it's aggressive. If you've got four killer D-back linebackers that are ball hawks that are naturally good at finding the
Mhm.
ball, yeah, it works out great. And the other thing is, a lot of youth football teams will have more linemen. Like the reason we had to go to the 70 and 6-3 hybrid 2 seasons ago with the 12U team, we had better linemen than we did backs.
Mm.
So we
That
and we
makes sense.
didn't we didn't really have any backs. So we had to put more of our line, we had to play more linemen, D linemen. So that worked out too. But yeah, the 70 works out. And then of course, so I'm from a 5-2 monster, so that's in there. And then the 3-3 stack, have you got to have a stack in there because at the youth level, if a youth coach hasn't taught their offensive linemen to down block, and then with
Right.
their domino call, audible,
Hmm.
they get shredded by a stack. So that 3-3 stack is a great audible from the 6-2 because you just back out the nose guard, one of the lighter nose guards, and then your two linebackers come up. So that's crazy. So I've got the 6-2 multi, 5-2 dragon, 70, and 3-3 stack are the eight. If you're, my defensive book is called the Pirate 6-2 multi 8. The 8 is one. There's a lot. The 8 players move around, but there's 8 defenses that are main. So it's kind of a two thing.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, that's how I came up with the defense. I have a list. I was gonna make a list. Some coaches are always asking me who I kind of got the defense from, or who's kind of motivated me to what I'm trying to say. I'm getting
Yeah, I
old.
love it. Like who did you take these ideas from and make it
Yeah, so
your
definitely
own?
definitely Coach O'Neill in middle school, Schrader and Hatfield in high school, then Fritz Shermer, Drew Tallman, Rex Ryan, Dave Caesar, Jack Reed, Bud Wilkinson. Actually, Kalinde's got his gambler defense, which was a long time ago.
That's good stuff right
And
now.
then
That right there, I mean.
yeah, and then a long time ago, this group just shut down like 3 years ago, and it's too bad. I tried to buy it and get it up, but there was a dumb coach forum that was really good. I don't know if
Oh,
you ever
okay.
saw it, but it'd been out there forever. So those are really where my influences on defense come from, and just naturally being an old linebacker, I'm kind of drawn to this defensive and moving guys around and stuff. So yeah.
How do you train those guys? What do you do in practice to get those guys ready to play those different spots? You know what I mean? Like how do you get enough reps so they're proficient at what you're
Yeah,
asking them to do?
it's kind of it's like a musical chair thing in a way. You set your laundry baskets up or bag for the offense, and then you set up your defense, your base. I'm usually, I'll first teach the 6-2 wide tackle, and we'll be in that. And then we start playing musical chairs. I'll go, this is wide tackle and the hand signal and the nickname. And then I'll say, go to tight. And we'll set them up in tight. And they move to tight. And then we say double wide. So we go through this jumping in and out of these 8 formations. Now, say like an 8U team, you may only be jumping into 3, right? You may only be 70 in a 6-3.
Right.
And not. But once you get to a veteran team that you've had around a while, you can jump into a lot. Like we've had a couple of 11U and 12U teams where we're running we're running everything. We're moving in and out. And so that's how we do it. It's kind of like a musical formation thing. I'll just get on the other side, call the hand signal or the nickname, and we're just jumping in and out. And it's reps. I mean, a lot of coaches, I don't think they rep things enough, but it's just the rep it. And then
Yeah,
your two
agreed.
linebackers have to be smart enough to know, oh, these tackles, it's really a lot of tackle movement in linebacker. They have to make sure that they're covering the open hole, even if the hole is bad or the call is bad. That linebacker has to jump to the open. So let's say we've called something, one tackle shifts, and that's fine. The other tackle doesn't shift. That linebacker has to know, well, I can't just stand behind that. I have to go to the bubble hole because he didn't make his shift. So there's some things going around that there.
I think what you said there is key. Reps is the secret, right?
Yeah,
You have to get enough reps for them to be good at it.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of reps with the moving in and out of it, and then also making sure our front 6 are hitting their mesh points in the backfield. We have certain mesh points we want them to get to, and so we really work the mesh points, especially with our outside contained DN guys. In the 6-2, they're not called outside linebackers; they're called DNs. So in a 4-4, they're called outside linebackers, but in a 6-2, they're on normally, and so we want them hitting the mesh of about a yard behind the nearest deep back for the defensive ends. And I know some coaches will say aim for their outside shoulder as it moves. So that's a couple of things on the mesh points that we want to make sure hits. Our tackles will hit the fullback feet, and the guards will hit the quarterback feet. So if we do that right, we have kind of a V wall set up in the backfield, and that's what we're looking for.
Okay.
So we in youth, I'm not, and I hate sitting back and to let their best tailback run like a kickoff return on me, we
Right.
attack. We're attacking.
Mm.
I'm not
Hmm.
sitting back. And I think that works out really good for youth because, the best pass defense, even if you get to 12U or 11U and they've got a great quarterback, the best pass defense is what?
Good pass rush. Come on, man.
Good pass rush. Exactly. If I took I learned a lesson about 10 years ago. There was a great quarterback and a great receiver. I dropped into a 4-4, thought my D tackles were going to play contain. We didn't hit the mesh point reps enough. That kid and that receiver shredded us because we gave him
Mm.
all the time in the world.
Mm.
And our coverage was suspects because we hadn't run into a real spread team yet, and that was our first real spread team. And so we were backing up and trying some stuff out. And yeah, from that game on, I was like, okay, we're putting real pressure on a quarterback.
I agree. It's funny. In 2019, the last 3 games we based out of a 6-1,
Yes,
and we
we
just
call that
said, "Come
air.
on now,
Yeah.
play cover zero," and we ended up winning 2 of our last 3 at a place that and won 3 games in like over a decade. And it was just, hey, let's get pressure and let's just live with the consequences. And it worked out for us for those 3 games.
Yeah, that's great that you said that. Our first drop for a pass defense is into a 6-1 because it's easy just to back out that one linebacker and have him go.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's really a 4-3, right? I mean, 6-1,
Right,
4,
right.
yeah. So it's really a good pass defense to go right off the bag with that. So that's great that you said that. That's close to my heart on that. We call it 6-1 air.
6-1 air. I love that. So, and then another year we were basically all 4-4 cover one. And
Yeah.
like, I'm a big man coverage guy. Now, I've used some other things, but when I'm at like my best as a coach, that's what we're doing. Like, let's just play man to man and let's go.
Yeah, I knew we were simpatico. That's kind of the Belichick thing, I'll play kind of like this 5-yard zone underneath if there's twins or whatever for crosses. But
Mm-hmm.
once they hit that receiver, they're manned up and gone.
Right, right.
So we're playing that Belichick kind of man thing, and it works out great. I know a lot of coaches are, cover 3, back the guys up. I mean, the only time I'm really backing anybody up if it's 4th and 20 and we're
Right.
going to go
Situational
into
football.
we're going to go into this 6-man umbrella looking thing and just
Mm-hmm.
wait on it. But other than that, yeah, we want to jam, bump, be as physical as we can, and put on a damn good pass rush. And that's what the
Yes.
6-2 kind of multi stuff does is you have the best of both worlds, especially at the youth level.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, cover zero is my favorite coverage,
Yeah,
and we've used it. I've used it as a head coach for a bunch of years, like as our base covers, that or cover one. And I think it allows you to do more up front, right? You can have more variance of your
yeah,
fronts, but because
yeah,
your coverage is so simple, like, hey, you got that guy.
yeah,
Like, you know
yeah.
what I mean? Your cover guys are your cover guys.
Yeah, trying to teach, especially, a lot of rec teams, you only have 2 practices, and trying to really teach zone and what that's all about is kind of tough. I mean, that was tough in high school, really getting all the intricacies of that. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just man up, be physical, don't let them catch the ball. And really at youth, I'll be honest, if in scouting or in the game, if I don't see them legitimately completing 50% of their passes, I'm really
Mm-hmm.
not doing any type of real pass coverage. We're just coming after them. If
Oh,
and
I
then
like
if
that
they
now.
and if they score one pass touchdown, was it a fluke or was it a triple tip ball and they caught it? Okay, that's not real.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it was just a fluke thing. But if they do 2 touchdowns legit, I'll move into a pass defense. But
Mm-hmm.
I think most of the time with a good pass rush with a less than a 50% completion percentage, yeah, your defense will kill youth offense that's trying to throw, even in spread. I mean,
Oh, I agree 100%. I mean, one year we were like quarters and stuff, like
yeah,
quarter, half, some cover 3, and our defense was okay. But the years we were at our best was we were playing man to man and saying, just you got to come beat us now. Like there's no free access. There's none of that. Like we're in your face. Let's go. Let's go
Yeah,
play
even when
football.
I coach 7-on-7, we're pretty much manned up, or like a Belichick half zone man up thing. So we're playing that. So even at, and we've done really well in 7-on-7 tournaments doing that. I mean, I just didn't have I never had a true quarterback, and I'm not a quarterback
Oh,
coach.
okay.
I'm a defensive coach. So
Right, right.
yeah, if you're gonna, to me, we tangent on 7-on-7, pass league. You better have a quarterback, offensive minded coach that wants to run 7-on-7.
Oh my gosh, I despise 707. I always have. I just, oh my, it's such a, that
It's
is not real football at
it's not,
all.
no, no. Yes, again, once again, we totally agree. I remember my youngest. He was 14. We're doing 7-on-7. We're in a big tournament and stuff. And after, he goes, "I hate 7-on-7." He goes, "That guy that caught the ball out of lit him up. He'd have never touched. He'd have never touched it."
Right, right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's not real. It's great for quarterbacks and receivers to get practice, but other than
Mhm.
that, and I think even then, it sends a false sense of security to the receivers and the quarterback.
Agreed. I would tell my guys when we would do them because we did them every once in a while. Like
Yeah,
I'm 40 years old. I could stand back there at quarterback and light y'all up, and
right,
I can't play football anymore. I wouldn't even be good in a real game. But this is not real football at all.
right,
Like
right,
it's just not.
right. So yeah, that's my take on 7v7. So it's hard for a defensive coach to coach 7-on-7. At least it was for me, because I'm like, oh, this is kind of a joke, and people line up all screwy, on or off, or not on and off, and
Yes.
five on one side if some reps let it. And so it's like, okay, is this real practice, or what are we doing here?
No, and it's funny you say that 5 to a side. We played a team in a tournament one time, and they lined up like quads to one side,
Mm-hmm.
but the point of the quads was like where the guard would be. And I'm looking at their coach going, "Hey, there's an offensive line there. There's a guard and a tackle," and he didn't care. I mean, it was a whatever, it's 7-on-7, but I'm going,
Well,
"This is the point. Like you'll never defend this formation. That's an illegal formation." It's just I think it's just
I'll be
dumb.
honest with you. After the first kind of 2 seasons I did 7-on-7, that's what I was doing. I was putting guys anywhere because
Right.
it is what it is. I'm
You're
getting
trying
to,
to win.
yeah. At this point,
You're
people are
trying to
doing
win.
it to me, so I'm okay. We're just going to put whatever. So I
Mhm.
did find. I mean, back on this, that the motion backs worked great on 7-on-7.
Oh yeah, for
We ran
sure.
a lot of motion with the halfbacks, and I thought that would not work, but it worked well.
Mhm. It's interesting you say that. I was one of those guys that was we'd go play a 7-on-7 tournament. I would always say, because I was doing the defense at this point, I said, I'll never run 2-man because nobody runs that. And what did I run all tournament? 2-man. Because I was like, I want to win. I try to win. We got to the semifinals, but I was like, I'm just going, like you said, I'm just going to play the game. Like the game is to play 2-man and to do like quads. That's how you win a 7-on-7 tournament.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. So yeah, that's my 7-on-7 take. I don't coach it anymore because it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. It's not fun for me. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy that I have a really good friend that runs 7-on-7 all the way Texas Elite Football. He runs tournaments all over the state, and
Oh,
good
that's
for
fun
him.
if that's what you
But his
do, for sure.
but his two sons were high level quarterbacks and receivers. So
Mm, I got you. I remember Lincoln Riley a couple years ago. I saw a clinic online he did. He said when he was at Oklahoma, they quit doing 7-on-7 during the season. He
yeah,
said it was like he just had like a team pass period because then pass rush is in there. So I feel like, yes, I was talking junk against 7-on-7, but like when you get into I think there is some value to it. But when you get into the season, you have to start adding the pieces that would be in a real game. You know.
yes, yeah, and that's what I mean. It's kind of a false sense of security for the offense, and then I think it teaches some bad things for the defense because you really want to light the receivers up, not kind of touch them. I mean,
Right.
let's be nice or whatever. So,
That's
yeah.
awesome. So how do you like you run the beast power wing offense. Do you have like special things you do on defense that only really you know because that's your offense that you run?
I do, and I don't really talk about it only because everybody's trying to get me to tell them.
Right.
There is a video out there that talk on my YouTube channel that talks about how to stop a power offense. And
Right.
the
Right.
beast is a power offense. And if you know, I can tell you real quick, when I see a power offense, I call it a 4-week box. So my defense shifts.
Huh.
I've got 4 of my best guys on the weak side. Everybody else is on the power side, the unbalanced
Hmm.
side. And so I'm playing, okay, run counters. My four best guys are going to deal with your counter plays.
Right.
And then I'm taking care of your power. Now I'll do that. That's how I run against a single wing that's unbalanced,
Hmm.
or a double wing that's or any offense that's unbalanced that's running a lot of power. Is I
Hmm.
run this weird 4 box to the weak side,
Hmm.
and it's risky, but it's worked out
Right.
for us. And yeah, so I'm not going to tell you specifically how to stop the beast,
Right.
but there is a global on, this is what you do. And I told a guy the
Oh
other
yeah.
day because he was trying to finagle it out of me. If you set back and or don't shift to the unbalanced side on any offense
Hmm.
and you're not attacking, you won't stop the beast. The beast
Right.
is an attacking offense. It attacks your defense with
Hmm.
a lot of people at the point of attack.
Hmm.
If you're not kind of doing the same, well, you're going to get shredded.
Right. Right.
And it's
That's
funny
good.
because today I posted in my private forum, if because I knew we had this defensive podcast today, I changed in my defensive on. I said, hey, PSA, if you're defending against a unbalanced offense, basically, and they're shredding you in power runs, and you're not shifting, you probably should consider shifting to the unbalanced side.
Right.
Now, there's 10% of these coaches that are answering that and arguing with me. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
well,
Jeez.
well, this is great because you're getting shredded and I'm playing you. You wouldn't believe
Hmm.
how many youth coaches, even high school, will not shift. Like we've run a 5-hole power 10 times in a row, and a defense has not shifted or even moved a linebacker over. And
Oh
it's
my
like,
gosh.
how do you not do that? I mean, I get that you're
Mm.
worried about if I shift, there's a counter. But after 5 of these, as a coach defensively, I think you have to say, I'm going to stop that play and then beat me somewhere else, right? I mean, is that wrong for me? I mean, is that logical? That
So it's interesting. I was thinking about a game a couple years back where we ran off tackle power
yes,
95% of the game because they never adjusted. And I
right.
was like, I'm not going to call anything different if they don't adjust to it.
Well, what's crazy about this? This was a Super Bowl game
Oh my goodness, that's wild.
at 10U. So we ran offset and beast to the 5 hole for I think 12 plays to score in that one series. We
Nice.
we never changed the hole. We went all the way down. And it was like, and here's the other thing, and for defensive guys they should be aware of, is we ran that to our sidelines so they couldn't see it.
Right. Right. Yes, absolutely.
We
That's
do that a
that's
lot.
good strategy.
Yeah, we do that a lot. So, but as a defensive coach, you got to snap out. The thing that they were doing to us in that game, this was interesting. 2 points that I learned something that game. One, continue to run something that works. And two, they were using a crackback when old crackback was still legal, where you just take somebody's head off. They were running this
Oh.
crackback on our D end, and we could not handle it. But we adjusted after about 4 of those plays and blitzed our corner when they did it. and
Right.
that
Right.
and we figured that out real quick. So the I guess the moral of the story is you have out of game adjustments which you bring in, but also in game you have to be prepared to see what they're doing and make those adjustments on the fly.
Mhm. I think that's what separates average coaches from really good coaches is the ones that can adjust in game
Yes,
to what the other team's doing because they may do something that they you haven't seen on film at all, and
right,
it's just hey, how do we adjust to this on the fly? It's a simple adjustment. We have it in our package, and let's go with it.
right. And I started because a really good friend of mine, who my oldest son played for on a select travel team for a while, we played him in a game, and he was letting me set our defense up, and then he was calling audibles to it. And this was, I guess, 15 years ago now. It's so long. I'm been coaching too long. I forget things. But after that game, I started letting the offense set, and then I pretend I'm a middle linebacker, and I'm calling the defense in after they set up, just like a
Hmm.
linebacker would. So I've basically become part of the defense, calling adjustments and audibles to how the offense
Mm.
set up, and that's really up my game. Along with, and a lot of coaches don't do this, is scouting from film or going to other games and drawing out the plays, finding the tendencies, really ups your game as a defensive coach. I
Mhm.
think a lot of people don't uh, do that for whatever reason, for time or whatever. But if you want to become a better defensive coach, it's all about the scouting. It really
Oh
is.
yeah, 100%.
It really, in the Steve Belichick book on scouting, Bill's dad is an
Hmm.
awesome scouting book. I highly recommend it. But the other thing is that a lot of coaches, it's about time. And I know Dave Caesar says most coaches, youth coaches, and coaches are just lazy. It's kind of funny. If you really want to scout a game, you have to draw every play out
Mm.
and start making notes on every one of their plays and what number their players are and where they're at. And if you find a key, I mean, it is a ton of work. It takes probably 6 hours to really go through a game, offensive and defensively, to scout it. But
Hmm.
it's almost like, as a defensive coordinator, I'll go to one of these games, and if they haven't added anything, I know from a formation or where a kid lined up what the play is going to be, and I can start calling out the play.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
And that's where your game really goes up as a defensive coordinator.
Hmm.
It's
I
huge.
agree. I mean, I remember in my time as a defensive coordinator, teams would get very predictable by formation.
Yeah,
Like I knew in this formation they
yeah,
only ran or they only passed, or if this guy's
right,
was here in this formation, and like you were saying, you have to go through the film and do your due diligence to know that's
right.
what's going on.
Because you're usually, a formation will have 3 to 5 plays, and then you can set your defense up, in practice to stop those 5 plays from that formation,
Hmm. Hmm.
or at least 3 of those 5, and then you can nail it.
Right. And what's funny is as a head coach, and I started calling offensive plays. I had very few formations because I wanted to run like 10 plays out of those formations.
Yes,
So I mean, I can run everything I have in my playbook out of this. So it's hard. Like you can't cheat. Like I
right,
have the answer to the test. I can
right.
call this play if you're doing this.
Yeah, that's the reason. If you'll see, a lot of my playbooks have. I know Dave had the Sainted Six on the single wing. That's a big thing. But I went with base 8, Sweet 16, and Core
Hmm.
24. So you have, you install your base 8, you got enough to deal with anything the does. Then you have your Sweet 16, which really opens up the whole thing, and then you got this Core 24, which basically, pass and hole, you can hit anything. And so,
Hmm.
yeah, as an offensive guy, you want to make sure you have that multiple that you can do that with. And that's one reason why I have the 16-6-2 multi, is because
Hmm.
in Texas, we're running up against coaches like you or me. Even at a at a rec level, we have select coaches that are in our league, because we don't want to travel around Dallas. We like going to a couple of stadiums.
Oh, I got you.
So
Okay.
what I found out with good coaches, one defense doesn't work. I mean, if you just sit in a 6-2
Right.
wide tackle all day, they're shredding you.
Right. Right. You got to have a change up there.
Yeah, you got to be in the same with offense. I mean, there's got to be some kind of changes, and so you know, in my the Beast book we talked about last time, it's multiple. There's different things you can match your roster to that. The same thing I did with the defensive book because it was my first book. There's 8 really core defenses in there. I can match my roster to any one of those, and it's got base information. Now, does it have everything on a 4-4? No, but you as a youth coach at Rec can take that playbook and match your roster to one of those defenses as the base, and then move into the multi part of it. So that's been me. I'm a multi guy. And my wife and friends are always like, "You're trying to overcomplicate everything." I'm like, "No, this doesn't overcomplicate anything." Uh, and what I've learned, and I think a lot of coaches haven't learned this, and you're a principal, and maybe you see the same thing, is kids at these younger ages, their brains are set up to soak up as much information as you can give them.
Agreed. Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
they will learn if you challenge them and communicate to them in a way that's funny and motivating. Say it 3, say it 5, say it 6 times the reps. They will learn. And what's crazy, they will learn my offensive language and my defensive language just like a foreign language. I know referees will look over at me and say, "What are they saying?" And I'm like, "This is our internal language. This is what we do." And so I think for a lot of coaches, you should challenge yourself to push your kids because they're actually set up genetically to learn as much as they can under 16. Don't you think that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it's great. You have an internal language, and your guys are learning it, and you're ahead of the game, coach. That's excellent stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I try to talk to some of the coaches about it, and I think it does come down to some people have a knack for it and some people don't. Because I talked to some coaches and they're like, "Well, we tried it, we've done it, and it doesn't work." And so, it's like, is it just me or a couple other? But I know other coaches use the systems. So, is it just the way that they're communicating? And I still am trying to find a way how I can communicate it to that 20% of the coaching group that's not getting it and not embracing that.
Mm-hmm.
Have you figured that out?
No, I think it's just the way it goes. I think there's always going to be a group of people that just it doesn't work for them, and I don't know why that is. But
Yeah.
I think your systems, if you run them as is, you'll be successful. You just have to buy into that to do it.
Yeah. And I guess that's with everything. It's funny. A lot of people are always looking at me like, "Oh, you just run power or whatever." But in 2008, my oldest son was a really good quarterback, and we had the team in Arvada. And unfortunately, I moved back to Texas at the time in 2009 because of family health issues. But we bought as a coaching staff the Mike Leach Air Raid DVD
Mm-hmm.
set, and we're going
Mm-hmm.
to install that as a package. And so a lot of people always look and say, "Oh, you're so conservative," and I guess we're not. And what a lot of people don't realize about the defense is it says 6-2 multi-8, but we basically move into a 4-2-5 a lot of times on really
Mm-hmm.
good passing teams.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of folks are like, I guess the 4-2-5 right now is the buzzword of the
Oh
defense
yeah,
out
everybody's
there.
running that.
Yeah, everybody. And what a lot of folks don't understand is the 4-2-5 and 6-2 are the same defense. One goes in, one goes back. So the 6-2 you
Yep.
you adjust backwards. The 4-2-5 you adjust forwards. It's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit different personnel, but for a rec team with like 25 kids, you don't have packages where you're just switching out, you know, into 4-2-5 or a 6-2 kind of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I think is interesting there. And the reason I said that is I'm trying to write a 4-2-5 book right now since everybody is so into it. I guess
Okay.
TCU was the big 4-2-5 team.
Yeah, Gary Patterson,
Yeah,
his stuff. I've messed with that over the years, but then I was like, this is just a 4-4,
yeah,
and those outside linebackers are now safeties. And I saw a lot of heavy offense, like heavy set stuff.
yeah.
So
So
it
you're
didn't
not.
really work for us.
Yeah, yeah. What's really interesting is I've probably bought because every time I do a playbook, I don't want to sit down and just draw out stuff on a yellow pad and say this is just come from my brain.
Right.
I will actually buy or find uh, 10 probably books because I'm a research geek. I love
Hmm.
writing research papers and study all of what's going on and how they're doing it based on what I want to do and have done, and then meld that together and just confirm what I've been doing and then expand on that. And I think, yeah, that's how I write. If you're wondering how I write all these books, is you've got it. You'll see a source page. There's a source
Hmm.
page that's
Hmm.
citation, and to make sure that this is a legitimate run kind of defense or offense, I'm not just pulling this out of the air. And so I've been very cognizant of making sure that when I do write something, that it's backed up. There's backup for being able to do this. It's just not some youth coach pulling it out of the air.
Right. Your stuff is so well sourced. It really is good, Coach. It's excellent.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I try because as I'm trying to learn as I'm doing it more to better what we're putting into the playbooks or our defenses. And
Mhm.
I can't tell you enough as a defensive coach to go read all these old offensive books.
Yes, absolutely.
I think a
Yes.
lot of
Yes.
defensive guys forget that to be a good defensive coach, you have to understand the ins and outs of offense. That's really what
Hmm.
it's about. You can read all
That's
these
a fact.
defensive
Yeah,
books,
that's a fact.
but you want to know what the top 10 plays are out of each of these offenses and what the really good coaches are writing about. So then you can stop that. Like, I know Dave's and Pop Warner and Jack Reed's single wing. I've studied those. And I feel like, and I know the beast, I feel like, well, I know how to stop that. I mean, I can
Hmm.
stop those. I know what they're trying to do, what the three or four concepts are they're trying to pull off. And the same thing with the double wing, what they're trying to do there. Definitely the wing T, more misdirection. So I think as a defensive coach, really understanding what core offenses do, reading all of those core books helps you as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Coach. I do. And Coach, you're so wise, and I appreciate all your wisdom on the podcast and all the man. We could go for hours, but I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
like a bust route thing I have to like watch
I
here in a
was
couple
I was
minutes. So
looking, yeah, at
this
what
is
was going
beautiful,
on.
man. This is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Let's do it again if we get a chance, and love to chat with you again. So thanks for having me on again. Love to talk football anytime, Zach.
It's beautiful, Coach. I want you to say on the podcast that phrase "I cut you off" last time. Remember, you said at the end, but I already stopped recording.
Oh yeah, my catchphrase. Remember to play for fun, and winning is funner.
That's a fact. That is
That's a
such a
fact.
fact. Oh my goodness, Coach,
That's a
that's
fact.
awesome. Thank you for coming on and doing this. You are first class, and man, I look forward to continuing the relationship, and we'll continue to do these.
Yeah, pleasure, Zach. Have a great day.